Hey, Silver Dollar, I'm back with some speed runs on the Lair of Shaitan. So these are the ones where we had pretty big groups, and I think these are the fastest that I've done them in. It's hard to get, like a standard measurement because your group size keeps changing. So I'm not really sure how many people are in these, but they're pretty, decently sized groups. So we were able to sort of steamroll them a little bit. For measuring it, I went based off when you first see the little blue, invulnerable shield pop up in the lava. So that's when I start the timer, and then I stop it when he says that final kind of comment that he says at the end. I'll show you when it comes up. But those were the only 2 points that I could figure that seemed to be really consistent and easy to set the little timer to. So I know some people might say, well, you start the timer late or you stop it early or whatever, but I just needed to find some way to do it consistently. So this is like a decent group here. The time always seems to be based on, if you can get your group to the front shooting the boss, that's where you really, pick up your speed. So check out my earlier video on the how-to Lair of Shaitan if, you're curious about sort of the techniques or what to do when you're actually running the dungeon. But yeah, this one, we could have done this one faster for sure. I think if we had a few more melees running up to the front. For a lot of the time, I'm the only one up there. Okay, yeah, there's the comment. So the mad god shall know of these transgressions. So I think as soon as that pops, I just stop the timer. But I don't think it makes a big difference because everyone's probably killing the chest in more or less the same amount of time. So in total, I put four speed runs here in total, and they progressively get a little bit quicker. And I think the last one we finally break under a minute, which is pretty good for Shaitan. Because I remember when we first did them, they were definitely taking a while. And if you have too many people next to this, it can really get pretty slow. So, if you have this size group, it is big, but still, we were going through them relatively quick. And not too many people actually seem to die in this dungeon. I don't know. I kind of wince every time I'm getting down to half health there. That's not too pretty, but I haven't had too many close calls in here. I definitely take quite a bit of damage, but it doesn't get too hairy, and there's nothing. The heads can pop you, I guess. So that's the only thing that you have to be, you do have to be careful about. And if you aren't paying attention to your health and you just keep eating the big purple shots, then I guess that'll definitely catch up to you. A few of the people noticed in the last video, and I think I forgot to mention it, but a few people noticed that they changed the sprite for the boss. So the head on the boss used to be sort of this weird lava ghost looking creature. It wasn't very, I guess it was a pretty simple large sprite. I didn't think it looked that bad. I don't know why they changed it, but maybe that was just a temporary one, or maybe people complain. I'm not really sure. So if anyone knows, maybe write in the comments why they actually changed it. But they changed the boss, so it's a little bit more of a complex looking sprite. It's got some more, sort of shading on its face, and it's round instead of, it's more circular, I guess, instead of just being round on the top. But I don't know. I don't really prefer one or the other. I guess maybe this sprite matches the other game sprites a little bit more. I think they left the hands and stuff the same, so it wasn't a very big change, but it was small. We're still waiting though for the event for this dungeon. So anyways, hopefully that's something that doesn't get forgotten. I know sometimes, the devs are pretty busy, so certain things slip between the cracks or whatever, or get put on the back burner. But hopefully this is one that they sort of can implement soon, because it would be fun to do it a little bit more often than only having to use keys. And I think then at least more people would probably get to experience it. And I still haven't got anything good in this. I just keep getting stupid dinks. Dex stinks. Dinks, that's what I call them. Dinks, Dex stinks. Yes, this is the final one coming up. So this is probably the biggest group we had. I don't know. What is that, 20 people maybe? I'm not sure. Something like that. It's a pretty decent size. So, and we just, the boss just instantly jumps back into his invulnerable phase. So he only goes to the one side here, I think. We put enough damage on him that he doesn't even bother going to the middle. So I guess that's basically the quickest that you can do this boss in. So as long as you put enough damage right there. And yeah, it's pretty. So he's in his final phase right here, and then comes over to the right. We pop him, I think, one last time. Yeah, transgressions, yada yada yada, and then chest, and of course no loot. Well, no, I don't want to spoil it. Maybe there is loot. Keep you waiting. Yes, another dink. Awesome. All right, take it easy. Good luck on these ones. SLVRDLLR.